Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Welcome my second secondary for a new lesson for your book, The Traveler 3. Today we have vocabulary, grammar, listening, and speaking. If we get started as usual for the beginning, what we will learn today, you can see that we have three objectives. Number one, identify new words used in environment context. 2, practice listening for gist. And 3, speak and compare between two paragraphs. So for number 1, we're going to have some new vocabulary related to environment. And number 2, we're going to practice listening. So you're going to hear 3 topics about listening, and you have to choose A, B, C. Okay, and for number 3, we're going to try to speak and talk about, 2 environmental problems, and both of them are written in a paragraph, so we're going to compare 2 paragraphs. If you take a look at this photo to the right, you can see a bunch of beautiful animals. You can see a unicorn and a hippo here, maybe a penguin, lion, a squirrel, a giraffe, a snake, a monkey, an elephant, and a butterfly. These are all animals, and most of them live in Africa. And as for a reminder for grammar, you remember the quantifiers. The quantifiers such as many, little, a few, a lot of, a little, much, and few. You remember these, we use them with countable or non-countable nouns, and some of them are used in both countable and uncountable nouns. And remember, the key element about learning English is, number 1, the most important thing about learning English, number 1, agreement in singular and plural, and also agreement in a subject and a verb. These are 2 advice for you, so you can remember that. If you want to learn English, focus in everything about singular and plural, and how there should be some kind of agreement between them, and also subject-verb agreement. Let's see. If I ask you to remember the rule for the grammar, and we complete the rules with the words in the box, you remember how much we use it, or how many, a lot of, or lots of, few or a few, a little or little, which ones we use for the countable nouns, and which ones we use for uncountable nouns, and which ones we use them for both. So we use what and what before uncountable nouns. It means we can't use them, we can't count them because they're uncountable, like sugar, tea, water, and anything that is made of many particles that are numerous, and we cannot count them. And also we use what and what before plural countable nouns, the nouns that take S, so we can count them, like book, books, table, tables, and so on. And which ones that are, we call them use some and any, for and what before either countable or uncountable or plural countable nouns. So we use how much and a little before uncountable nouns, like how much milk, how much money, how much time, a little sugar, a little tea, a little oil. And we use how many and a few before plural nouns, like how many books, how many cars, how many tables, and a few of tables and a few cars, or etc. And we use some, any, no, a lot of, and lots of. You can say lots of or a lot of before either uncountable or plural countable nouns. If we take a little exercise about this, then the exercise, read the dialogue and circle or underline the correct answer. So you have 2 possible answers. I'm going to read for you the conversation. A, hi John, have you got any or many spare time this weekend? B, I haven't got much or many times because I have got lots of work or a lot of work to do over the weekend. Why are you asking? A, any of the students or some of the students from my class are going to help replant trees in a park that was damaged by the fire. B, oh, that sounds like fun. When are they going? A, Saturday, you can come anytime between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. Mike told me that a lot of or how many people are going to take part. B, I might try to come for a new or a little hours if I finish my work. A, great. Now let's see number 1. Hi John, have you got any spare time or have you got many spare time? It's of course any, because this is a question, and spare time, most of the time is uncountable. I haven't got much time. See, much time, time is uncountable. I've got lots of or a lot of, both is correct, because both a lot of or lots of can come with work or works. And any or some of the students, some of course students is countable. You see the S. Some of the students from my class are going to help replant trees. And then Mike told me that a lot of a lot of people are going to take part. And finally, Emma tried to come for a few hours. A few is always, preceded, or hours, countable noun, always preceded by a few or how many. Now let's listen to the conversation here, okay? And see A, B, C.
Listening and speaking. Listening. Speaker 1.
In the future, I believe we will see more eco-cities. These are cities which are built to be environmentally friendly. China has already created plans for an eco-city which will be the first of its kind in the world. It will generate electricity from alternative sources of energy, such as solar and wind energy. There is already a plan to build a similar city in part of London. I believe if the Chinese city is successful, other countries will follow in their footsteps and try to create cities that will work with the environment rather than against it.
Speaker 2. I believe one of the greatest threats facing our planet in the future is lack of water. Scientists have predicted that in as little as 20 years, serious water shortages will occur around the world. The amount of fresh water available to the world's population is decreasing due to both climate change and our increasing needs. Scientists have said that we have to manage how we use water in a better way if we want to save the planet. People have to start taking action now if we want to stop this disaster from happening. Speaker 3.
I think that ecotourism is something that will become more popular in the future. Ecotourism allows tourists to visit natural areas without causing harm to the environment. It also aims to improve the lives of the local people. As more and more people become aware of the environmental problems facing the planet, it is predicted that they will choose to go on ecotourism holidays. In addition, as our modern lifestyles become busier, people will want to escape from the cities and head for natural environments, where they may be able to give something back to the earth. I believe that in the future, this type of responsible travel will play a large role in the tourism industry.
Speaker 4.
I think life will be better for us in the future. I believe the home of the future will be very different from the way it is now. As technology becomes more advanced, so will our homes. People are already building environmentally friendly homes that do not cause any damage or pollution to the natural environment and use energy efficiently. This type of home will become more common in the future. In addition, I think computers will also play an important role in future homes. Possibly computers or robots will do many tasks in the modern household, such as housework and shopping. This will give people more time to do other recreational activities and enjoy their free time.
So that was all. You heard 4 speakers here from 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left. And the 4 talked about 3 environmental aspects or issues. A was an environmental problem. B was an alternative type of holiday. and C was environmentally friendly places. You see, we have 4 speakers and we have A, B, C. We have 3 topics. So there should be 2 that talked about the same aspect. So as you can see in the question here, you will hear 4 people, or we just heard 4 people talking about different aspects of life in the future. Listen and decide what each speaker is referring to. One aspect is referred by 2 speakers. And here are the answers here are A, an environmental problem, B, an alternative type of holiday, and C, environmentally friendly places. And here are the answers. So speaker A talked about C, environmentally friendly places. Also speaker 4 talked about this, which was the final one. And speaker 2 talked about A, which was an environmental problem. And of course, and the last one, speaker 3 talked about B, which was an alternative type of holiday. If you take a look to the right, you can see picture 1 and picture 2. This is air pollution. This is a big factory, releasing too much, poison in the air with gases and burnt stuff, chemical stuff. And in picture B, you see to the right, water pollution. Also, some factories are, polluting both the air and the water. The fish, as you can see in picture number 2, is so angry and it's about to die. Another way of polluting the water is that people throw trash in it. Ships, also throw trash in it. So look at at photos 1 and 2 showing environmental problems. Compare the photographs and discuss the following. How common are these problems where you live? Do we have something like this where we live? Which of these problems do you think is more serious? So we can use some vocabulary here. I think that picture 1 is, or let's say picture 2 is more dangerous because it shows both that some factories release, poisonous smoke in the air, and also they throw through pipes where the pipes end into the sea or river and they pollute the water. And you can say it's much better or worse than, because I don't think that is a serious problem as, I don't think that, photo A or 1 is a serious problem as, photo 2, because in 2, as you can see, they're polluting both the air and the water and maybe also the soil. And finally, you can say it's definitely not the best solution because, and so on. So it's not really common where we live. There are no near factories near Riyadh or Jeddah, but Saudi Arabia takes as a government takes really good care of air pollution and soil pollution, and they do some measurements to make sure that they have a way to recycle their waste. And which of these problems do you think is more serious? And as you can say, I think that picture 2 is more serious for water pollution and air pollution at the same time. And the Quran said that God created everything from water. Water is very important and respected in Islam. So we need water to drink, to survive, to stay alive, for plants, for animals, and for everything. And also we need air. So I think, both, air pollution and water pollution, you can't live without 2-3 days without water, and maybe you can't live without 2 or 3 minutes without oxygen. So we're coming to the end of the lesson by remembering what we have learned today. We remember some, quantifiers. We use how much and many, a lot of, little, a few. And, also we got some examples that I don't have many apples. How many lessons do you have? I have few caps. I have a lot of apples. I don't have much time. How much homework do you have? I have a little water and I have a lot of food. And remember, always homework. I hear some students say homeworks. This is incorrect. Homework is non-countable. So we use how much and a little before uncountable nouns. We use how many and a few before plural countable nouns. And we use some, any, or a lot of, or lots of before either uncountable or plural countable nouns. And for the speaking, we talked about two terrible photos. They show, water pollution, air pollution, and so many other pollutions. And we have to say always, by recycling and starting from our house and from, our school, from our street, we all help reducing either air pollution by turning off, our ACs. Also, we can help by recycling our waste or trash can by throwing it on time, so we don't make, air pollution. You can see on the streets that Saudi Arabia government has put new containers for trash can. So, and also they put the time. If you stick to the time, you have produced air pollution. If you recycle your waste in the house, you put paper along, and other glass and cans along, you can do a lot of things. And always remember, you can be the change you want to see in others. It's everyone's responsibility. So finally, these are the references and the resources for you if you might check them if you like to do some extra work. And finally, for more information and lessons, you can visit us on our website, follow us on Twitter for more information and updates. And if you have any question directly, you can call us on a 24/7 landline phone, and the number is 800-44-42-0. Thank you all for watching this, and I wish you a very good day, and assalamu alaikum.